What's good, gang? All right, we got another one for you today. What up, what up, what up? Shout out to Brian Prater in the building, Carne Asada in the building. Make sure y'all double tap that screen, hit that like button on the way in. I appreciate the love and support. All right. Kendrick is everywhere. Kendrick is literally everywhere, man. Kendrick is everywhere, and we all love it, man. We all love it. It's the victory lap. It's the marathon. It's all of those things. Now, just a few minutes ago, I want to say maybe a half hour ago or so, this interview just finished. It was, I think it was posted by Apple Music, Rock Nation, the NFL, Associated Press, and a couple of other people, man. So this interview was kind of it was everywhere. Now, I knew that it was going to happen. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I tapped in a little early, and I see that it's an hour long, and it looked like they had about a half hour of guests before that. So I want to say shout out to, I think it was John Baptiste that was on there. Lettucey was on there, which is one of my good friend who passed away, one of his favorite artists. And I can't remember the other people that were on the show. Ebro is doing the interview. And of course, Kendrick is gracing the screen. No, I have not watched it yet. I have not watched it yet at all. I saved it for you guys. And the reason why, because I wanted to be able to pause and reflect. And I didn't want to stop anybody from seeing it live and everybody be like, yo, just play the video. So I'm like, all right, bet. Let me let y'all watch it if y'all have seen it already or not. But I'm going to give you guys my reaction to it as well. So it looks like it's about 30 minutes long. Shout out to Verza, Josh, Be Real, Janae, The Great Debater, Jessica Dene, Analyze That, Classic K, Guillermo, everybody in the chat, man. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, run it up. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into this video. And I kind of just want to see what the talk of the town is with this. I will say it's relentless, bro. And I love that for him. I love that for him. The Super Bowl is this weekend. We don't have very much longer to wait to see how this is going to go. What up, Ali? So let's go ahead and tap into it, man. You caught a live finally. Shout out to Trina. Let me know if this is your first live. I always say that, man. Let me know if this is your first live. If you tapping in, watching this later, I appreciate you guys for clicking on the video. Make sure you guys try to catch another live. We love to do these live, all right? Let's go ahead and get into it. What up, crew? What up, Marvin?
Thank you. This is great. I'm new here.
The show rolls on.
So how was Ebro? How was Ebro? What up, Anthony? Shout out Ant. My first live. Shout out Trina. Second live. Shout out William. I wonder how Ebro was during this whole thing. It's super quiet.
We can talk about his world-shifting pen, his Pulitzer Prize-winning album, his 22 Grammys, or his seismic impact on music spanning more than a decade.
But nobody can speak for the man better than himself.
Why Ebro sound like a hater? Am I tripping? No, I'm just. Hey, look, bro. If I tripping, why you sound like it sound like hate? To me, it sound like hate. I don't know.
Please welcome Kendrick Lamar.
Hey.
Well, y'all gotta make some more noise than that.
Symbolic. Symbolic. What up, Cat? Symbolic. Every time we've seen this man, he's been wearing blue. Today, he's wearing all black. What does this mean, bro? Every time we've seen him, he's been wearing blue. Now he coming out wearing all black. Symbolic. Stage is black and white. I don't know. You say you tripping?
Morning.
How you doing?
You know, Kendrick, it's a little bit surreal to actually see you in the flesh because you've always made it a point of just letting the music speak for yourself, which is something I really respect. But the spotlight has been shining so bright the past few months. I've just been wondering how you've been processing behind the scenes, how you've been feeling about everything.
Yeah, I want to know too.
Success.
Processing the spotlight.
It's just really just I want to look at it like it's just a continuum of who I am, really. I've always stayed to myself. I've always been in my own bubble, whether it's with the fam or whether it's training. How I process it all is just...
And that's one of the main things that we talked about from the beginning. He's in the house, bro. He with the fam. There's nothing wrong with that. And you got people out here acting like not being in the streets is a problem or a diss. So he says it's just a continuation of who I always been. I ain't changed. Y'all just starting to see it. Facts. Run it up.
I continue to do what I was doing 10 years ago, and that's like be better in myself, better in the craft, and not look at it as bright lights, you know? And it may sound cliche, but it always worked for me, even when I was younger, you know, playing sports or being in the forefront of presentations and stuff like that. It was like, I gotta look at myself in the mirror rather than looking at it as a crowd or, you know, fame and attention.
So now, early days of your career, you know, Section 80 days, even early mixtapes, and you perfecting your craft as an MC. Did you ever think we'd be at the Super Bowl with this?
I wasn't thinking about no Super Bowl.
You never thought about the Super
I
Bowl
wasn't
with
thinking
this?
about no Super Bowl for sure. We was thinking about the best verse and how we gonna split this $5 at Church's Chicken. Or
That's
something like
crazy
that.
work.
It wasn't no Super Bowl.
That's hard. They say, you know, never focus on like the shiny object. Focus on the process it takes to get to the shiny object and you'll be great. So that's kind of what I'm hearing from him is like, I never focused on the shiny object. I focused on falling in love with the process to get to that shiny object. So shout out to homie, man. And shout out to Kendrick.
Going to the studio and getting a meal. But I think, well, what I know is the passion I have now is still the passion I had then. And I think that carried on to the Super Bowl. So it was all about being present. As long as I was present in the studio and present in whatever that line was or whatever that mistake was, rapping or doing hooks or choruses or whatnot, I was present in that moment. I felt that passion. I think being present and not actually foreseeing everything kept me in the grounded state of mind in order to be a, you know.
So saying not always looking ahead and like I said, not always keeping the shiny object in focus, being present was helpful, was something that got him to where he is. Ooh, that's hard because I swear I feel like a lot of times, man, we always looking at forward. We always looking at constant motion. Like we got to keep moving. That's the goal. We look at the goals. And we don't really revel in the process to get to that goal. Bars.
I think we felt that presence and that focus in your work for the past 15 years. Like Ebro said, going all the way back to projects like Overly Dedicated. And so seeing you perform with Dr. Dre at the halftime show 3 years ago, we already felt like that was the most hip-hop, beautiful halftime show ever. And now for you to come back and be the first solo hip-hop artist to headline, how does it feel being the artist to hit that milestone? And, you know, just your thoughts on what that means about hip-hop's progression and impact over the years.
But that shit, it made me think about, like, the grind of it. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't see, like, the story before the glory, man.
Right.
That shit's like shuffling out your mixtapes and, you know, going to neighborhoods and parties and performing there, hole-in-the-wall spots. It reminds me of the essence and the core response of rap and hip-hop and how far it can go. So for me,
Shout out to Trina James for the 2. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Edward, I appreciate you. J-Tom, what up? Thank you so much for the donation. Oh, man, I want to hear that one more time, man. The grind. And I think that's what a lot of the, you know, I won't just say young people, because I think a lot of people really just lose sight of hard work and what it takes to get somewhere. And everybody sees the end product. But if you just, and it's not just Kendrick, right? It's all different facets. It's all different industries. It's all different types of people that are working towards something, and maybe it never feels like you're gonna get there. I swear, even me personally, I feel like just within this last 6 months or so, I've seen such a growth in what I put all of my effort into. But at one point I felt like, yo, it's never gonna change, man. We just gonna keep, you know, putting everything into it. And, you know, maybe I should switch gears and maybe I should do something else. But as soon as you just lock in, things happen, man.
me, that should mean everything because it puts the culture on the forefront where it needs to be and not minimized to just a catchy song or verse. This is a true art form. So to represent it on this type of stage is like
Y'all hear that?
a true art is to just a catchy song. For me, that should mean everything because it puts the culture on the forefront where it needs to be and not minimize to just a catchy song or
That lets you know. He's even saying it himself, and I feel like I was saying that before too, where it's not just about not like us. He like, bro, we not gonna minimize it to they not like us. He like, y'all like that. I love it too. Trust me, I love it. But we not gonna minimize that. We were about uplifting the culture. I'm with the culture feeling. That's what he been saying. We got to bring culture back. Not like us was just a vessel. Oh, that's a bar. Oh.
verse. This is a true art form. So to represent it on this type of stage is like everything that I've worked for and everything that I believe in as far as the culture. Like I live and die.
And I'm gonna say this too, bro. All y'all talking about Kendrick glazing and whatever. Listen, even if you don't like Kendrick as an artist because you think that Drake won or you're on the other side or whatever, which it ain't really no side. We all in this hip hop thing. You have to respect what he's doing for the culture, unless you just don't really care about the culture in hip hop, right? If you just don't care, then that makes sense, and you just like to bob your head and listen to nonsense or whatever. But if you really about uplifting the culture, then minus it being Drake or Kendrick or whoever, you would applaud this effort.
Like this shit done changed my whole family life, so I don't take it for granted at all as far as the art form, you know?
It feels like that was a lot what this year was about too, right? Like you, I guess, you know, you took it and put it on your back and you felt like a line needed to be drawn, right? Was that your intent when you rolled out this year? Was like, yo, I'm drawing a line. Like,
Ooh, good question.
My intent was to always keep, I think from day one was to always keep the nature of it as a sport. You know, I don't care how motherfuckers look at it. As far
Ooh! Oh, damn! I don't care how y'all look at it. It's a sport. Oh, that's a bar. Go back. Oh, look, good question,
a
Ebro.
line needed to be drawn, right? You know, was that your intent when you rolled out this year? Was like, yo, I'm drawing a line. Like, this is what it is.
My intent was to always keep, I think from day one was to always keep the nature of it as a sport. You know, I don't care how motherfuckers look at it as far as like, as a collaborative effort, you know, that's cool too, but I love when artists grit their teeth. Like I still watch battle raps. I still watch Smack URL.
Damn, he still watch battle rap?
Lux, the Tay-Rock, you know, my bro Daylight. This has always been the core definition of who I am, and it's been that way since day one. So I don't think it was a thing for this year. It was always just a continuum. And
Yeah, listen. I hear what he's saying. Shout out to Carolyn for the first live. I hear what he's saying. But there was this year, well, last year seemed like a concerted effort. It was like, stop the BS, bro. It stops now. It was a switch. I don't know what the switch was. I know it's always been an intent to keep hip hop pure, or keep the sport alive, right? With Kendrick, it's always been keep the sport alive, keep it pure, and elevate the culture. But this year, it seemed like, well, excuse me, I keep saying this year. Last year, it seemed like there was a switch. Enough is enough. Well, the switch was first person shooter. Big three? Nah, stop all that, bro. Chill. It's a sport. Stop trying to be buddy. Now I get it. Ooh.
what I will say about this year, it was more from a space where I think a lot of people was putting rap to the back, and you didn't see that. You didn't see that grit. You didn't see that bite anymore. So I always took that in consideration in going into any type of my music.
That's interesting. So I hope this makes sense, right? You know, we've been following your journey for about 15 years, and you have been so consistent in the messaging and the focus, like you said, and you've always moved with integrity. So in a lot of ways, I feel like we thought we knew exactly who you were as an artist in a positive way. And then last year it felt like you unlocked a whole new dimension.
Facts.
But that person, like you said, was
Yo,
always
shout out to the the presenters, bro. These questions are good. They're not surface level questions, which is kind of what I was expecting to hear. Shout out to the new subs too. Thank you, Classy K.
we thought we knew exactly
We
who you
did.
were as an artist in a positive way. And then
He said he
last
went
year it
Ultra
felt like
Instinct.
you
He was
unlocked a
Goku.
whole new dimension for us. But that person, like you said, was always in there. But I'm wondering, do you still surprise yourself sometimes? Did you surprise yourself last year, or was it just us, the fans, with our jaws on the floor, just stunned?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Surprised myself? Nah, I don't think I surprised myself because this for me and for my partners that's been around me since 2005, 2006, like my brothers, they know my personality, they know my capabilities, even when it wasn't.
And that rings true, right? When everybody was telling y'all, leave this man alone. Y'all just don't see him in the studio like that. Y'all don't see him like that. It definitely, everything he's saying is true. Everything he's saying is true. I always been that way. I always been that person. But again, I do think there was a switch.
Presented to the public at first, right? So this is just like a revolving door of what I've been doing in Carson Studios, at the Homie Garage, or
See?
my brothers at TDE, or just anybody around the city of Compton in LA. It's just magnified to the level where I've progressed it and did enough hours to know, okay, I know where to place it now. I know how to make it connect with people.
It feels
Mm.
like
And if you hear that, what up, Desmond? If you hear that, that's one thing that people typically get wrong. You have an incredible song or an incredible product, and the timing just isn't right. And I think that's one of the things that we noticed, respected, and applauded throughout the beef was the timing and the placement of the records and the tonality of the records when they dropped and how they dropped. Everybody was pressing them. Drop, drop, drop. It's a joke now. It's a joke at this point. Drop, drop. Use me as it ain't got nothing to drop button. Okay. And then not understanding that this man is just developed, he has developed the code to say, no, this is when I drop. Crazy work, man. Crazy work.
Progressed it and did enough hours to know, okay, I know where to place it now. I know how to make it connect with people.
it feels like each album too, getting to this point was like it was an album for the culture, and it was an album for the critics. You know what I mean? And then it was for the critics.
Yeah.
And then GNX comes along, and it's like, nah. This is an album for anybody, everybody, and anybody who want it.
Do y'all see it that way? Do y'all see it that way as he dropped album for the culture, album for the critics, album for the critics, and then one for everybody? Is that how, do y'all see it that way? Because I'm trying to think, even if I think back to Section 80, I don't know, I feel like that was for everybody. I feel like Good Kid, Mad City, that was for everybody. I feel like Mr. Morale literally had me sitting me and my wife were listening to the album when it dropped. I was in California when it dropped. Listening to it and sitting there listening like, yo, I'm getting emotional listening to this album. So I don't know. I feel like it's always been for everybody, but I don't know. Let me know let me know. That's a good question to the people watching. If you guys want to comment, how do you guys feel about that statement? Let me know in the comments. I'll try to get back to everybody. Double tap the screen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, we're on the way to 30,000 subs. I appreciate you.
At any time. And you brought that energy. And the energy you brought on GNX was an energy that I don't think was really happening in hip hop. Like, it's a Public Enemy level energy. It's a Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted energy.
sure.
Like, it's a classic, timeless energy. Talk about your headspace between Mr. Morale and this GNX.
Yeah, no, that's great. Go back even further, man. Speaking on that energy, like it's my cousins was like DJ Quick, and Dre, you know, these folks that my people was playing. So I always had that DNA. And you know, you heard that DNA a little bit on Good Kid, Mad City, but I wanted to tell my story first, right? And fast forward to GNX, I felt it was just a perfect time because not only the energy was lost, but it was the energy that was bubbling inside of me as well. I wanted to go back to the forefront of just the bite and just the grit of rap, just all
I
rap.
wonder if he meant the energy within himself was lost, or if the energy within the hip hop space. That's kind of the way I took it, as the energy within the hip hop space was gone, and he brought that back because I don't think the energy ever left from him.
Raps and hard ass beats. And that's like the basics for me. I thought about damn what I used to like when I was a kid. Hard raps, good beats, smacking, right? And it was a great transition from Mr. Morale because that was my most intimate. I wanted to go inside of my own psyche and my own
The therapy on that, bro.
personal withdrawals and see how it connects with the public and who can relate. So during this time around, I think it was necessary of coming out of that cocoon and feeling like, okay, I arrived now. I can spread my
But
wings and
but even hearing that, that sounds like a cleanse. It sounds like more of like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was a cleanse. And it was like, I came out of therapy and I feel better because I lifted the weights off by sharing some personal stuff with y'all. Now I could be villainous because I ain't got no more weight holding me down. I get it.
show every state of who I am as far as Kendrick Lamar.
And you really did spread your wings. I mean, you just came off a huge Grammy wins. You walked away with 5 awards, and you won Not Like Us won for Song and Record of the Year, which in itself is remarkable. But I think for people who love and respect hip hop and the roots of this culture, the competitive spirit of it, it has been a little bit mind-bending that you created this massive cultural award-winning anthem out of a battle rap song. And how is that something, after you got off that Grammy stage, you got home in some quiet time, what was going through your head?
I was just thinking about the culture, really. It's always that for me first. I'm not even bullshitting with you. It's like when people talk about rap, man, the conversations I hear, they think it's just rap and it's not an actual art form. So when you put records like that at the forefront, it reminds people that this is more than just something that came 50 years ago. Don't forget that it's even been here 50 years, right? And like kind of like belittle it. So I love
That's what I was gonna say. And I do think that rap is one of those things that kind of just gets looked at like a toy that kids play with and they forget about it and kind of put it away. And then there's every so often there's a generational artist that comes out that reminds you this is bigger than just some little genre, and it influences the world. And you see it in different places. You see it everywhere. You see hip hop's influence everywhere. So for as a person that is actively in the field, like Kendrick and other artists, right? But Kendrick, because this is what we're talking about, to see that being mishandled and misrepresented was probably the other switch. Like, yo, I can't listen to this no more. I can't do this. We gotta change. And that's why we got what we got last year up into GNX.
see that it gets that type of recognition for just straight raps, from awards to the billboards, all that, because this is truly just as big as an art form and a genre as any other genre. So that's what I think about, and I feel accomplished being able to do that. You know, whether somebody else come behind me and do it again and quadruple it, I love to see it. If that was my purpose to do that, then that's exactly what it was for that particular moment.
I think people often miss the significance of that Record and Song of the Year award, because that Song of the Year award is a songwriter's award.
Right.
It's not just the biggest song. It's like
Penned.
someone wrote a song.
That's what I thought rap performance was. What up, RMS? That's what I thought rap performance was. So Song of the Year goes to writing credits, like songwriting. Okay.
And you as a songwriter, when you see your name up there and it's written by Kendrick, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's powerful. And I think to what you're saying, I think there's a lot of people who have become fans of hip hop, and they you know, you like the songs you hear and know, but you're not actually tapped into the work that it takes for
Yeah.
you to generate
Yeah.
the output, the art.
Exactly, man. As a writer, you know, and that's what I can appreciate the most. And knowing how much time I dedicated over the years in just trial and error, writing the most terrible shit to some of the greatest shit. You know, we all do it, from writer's block to figuring out how to find inspiration from the most non-popular aspects around me. So it's like, knowing that trial and knowing what I put in as far as my thinking process and what it takes to get there, I do not look at it as a small like endeavor because it's a hit record. No,
Right.
it's actually some writing in that shit. You know, whether it connect with you on a spiritual level, whether it connect with you on a comedic level.
And that's the thing. I think that's in defense of it being such a catchy song. Like, there's lyrics in the song, but I still stand by Meet the Grams and Euphoria. The writing in those songs is just absolutely bananas. It's, to me personally. Now, you might have your own personal favorite, right? What up, Dan? You might have your own personal favorite. Let me know which one is your favorite record in the comments too. Let me know which one is your favorite record. You may have your own personal favorite, but Not Like Us is such a dance bop. Shout out to Ginger. It's such a dancey bop that people forget that there's a pen behind there. Say, Drake, I heard you like him young. It's just like, come on, bro. It's so like, when you can just say Drake, and then everybody just finish the rest of your song. Come on, there's some incredible writing behind that.
level, where they connect with you just on a personal dynamic. It's
I
still
see
from
Euphoria a lot.
writer's point of view.
Yeah, you are an incredible writer. There are songs on GNX like Reincarnated. I didn't know what to do with that song for
Yeah.
the first few times I heard of it, just trying to figure out where you possibly came up
Yeah.
with the inspiration for a record like that.
Shout out Loops.
When you're working on those songs, are you going through multiple versions until the right thing comes to you? It's
Don't
just hard
reveal,
to fathom,
Kendrick, don't reveal the secret sauce.
I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, records,
Shout out Q-Dub.
records like that. First off, shout out to Tupac. That's number one. That was always one of my favorite records from him and Outlaws. With records like that, it's always going into my mind of like, what if, right? And crafting out my what if ideas to the masses. So when I think about concepts and I think about what I actually believe and what I feel, I just go through a breakdown as if I'm reading a book, you know, and how I want people to hear this from a book sequence.
Oh.
So my initial process is, okay, how can I open them up to the story, and how can I drive them to the ending point to make them feel truly exactly what I'm trying to convey, whether they take their own.
Bruh. And at this point, it's expert level. That expert level. Because on songs like Reincarnated, songs like Gloria, those songs captivated you, made you lean in, listen 5 or 6 more times to try to understand it, and you felt something while you listened to it. I think that's what hip hop and rap in specific, you know, has been missing, is there's no feeling. The only feeling you get is dread. And that's what I don't like about some of the certain space that rap was in. And honestly, I haven't seen much in that direction, unless it's just so far muddled underneath the ground that I'm not hearing it or seeing it. But I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing people elevate their skills.
Perspective from it, or they take mine. I just want you to feel it first. You know, the writing is there. Now it's up to me to perform it to where you can feel it.
Shout out to Company Man. Yeah, bro. He's revealing the secret sauce. Company Man, what up? It's all happening, my guy. That's what I said. Don't reveal the secret sauce. Just let us wonder. I didn't want him to do that, but I felt like he had to. What up?
Yo, give it up for this guy, Kendrick Lamar. Y'all too quiet, man.
It's all
This
happening.
guy- you know, this guy he doesn't sit down and do this too often, so this is a very special
Yeah.
conversation. We appreciate
That's a fact.
you, bro.
Yeah.
I really do. And shout to SZA too, because you guys are making
Yeah,
history
man.
right now.
Hell
and,
yeah.
and you've seen her from her humble beginnings, like she's seen you from your humble beginnings. you've watched her find success, and now y'all sharing the stage at the Super Bowl. This humongous tour that's rolling out next year. Talk about this moment in both of y'all's career. Have you guys had a chance to even see each other in this moment and be like, yo, like?
We haven't even had a chance to crash out about it because everything been moving fast, like far as production,
Yeah.
rehearsals and stuff. So we speak.
And
but
then
it's
right
not-
after
we haven't really.
and then right after the show, I feel like when does the tour start? Does the tour start in March or April? So they got a little bit of time to rest, but like somebody said earlier, Mans looks like he might be a little like tired, like he needs a break, he needs some
Had
rest.
a chance to settle into the moment. For me personally, watching her, her career and where she's come from, it's amazing to see. I get to finally see how certain individuals see me come up in the process. 'Cause I seen her day one coming in the studio and writing songs.
Student
throwing away
becomes the
songs,
master.
Writing another song, throwing away songs, and songs is hard. And I understood that process though, wanting to be great. Even when people saying this is classic records, you're like, no, I'm gonna write another one. And I understood that and I seen it. So to see it now magnified is like, she always had it, man. She always had it. And I'm just honored to be next to a talent.
Yeah, you've both worked.
Who was it that SZA said that she was happy that they didn't allow her to write for them, or they didn't take her songs? I forgot what artist it was. Does anybody recall who the artist was that SZA said, I'm happy that it didn't go that way and I did my own thing? I remember hearing something about that. No, it wasn't Aubrey. I can't remember, but I'm also happy that she didn't give the talent away in the way that some artists have. Some artists have just given away so much good stuff to where they get used up and they don't have anything left. Case in point, P&D. P&D probably would have had some really good music early in his career, man, and he just gave it up. And now that sound is dead. Was it Beyonce? I don't know. I don't know if it was Beyonce or not.
Worked
What
really
up, Delete It? Shout out my dog.
in this moment. On Part 6 is really
Villains in the
amazing
building.
to hear you detail that journey for old and new fans. Coming up through the ranks at TDE and now launching your own agency, PG Lang. So performing at the Super Bowl halftime show is very much, us as fans getting to celebrate you and this beautiful musical legacy, but also now you're stepping out as an entrepreneur. What has it been like to build your own business and to also showcase some of that creativity from your agency on this platform?
Oh man, I love the process. Shout out to PG Lane. Make some noise with PG Lane.
Who else is under PG Lane? Is Keem under PG Lane? We said that before. We haven't had a baby Keem sighting in forever, so I'm wondering who else is under PG Lane.
Yeah, that's my
Villains
that's
in the
my
building. We
team,
see
man.
y'all.
It's 30 incredible individuals, 5 extraordinary executives that work day in, day out to make sure we are doing something that will long live the culture. From a music standpoint, from a creative standpoint, fashion, film, books, day in, day out of just being around like-minded individuals that have different perspectives outside of just music. So through that process, it was a challenge for me, but even more a process of me enjoying, different ideas and different backgrounds and how to look at things. I love it. Being on calls and, formulating business ideas and ventures outside of my usual norm, it challenged.
I was just about to say him wearing a completely different hat. My guy Justin Hunt, yeah, everybody in here, man. Him wearing a different hat as an exec as well. That's kind of crazy though too, because I feel like his mind works in a different kind of way too. It's like, was that Inception? I can't remember. Where it's like different doors and different possibilities. No, it was the movie where bro does the thing, whatever, it was a Marvel movie. But like just seeing all the different like possibilities and different ways to build and create artistry, I think that's a good seat for him too. But to think that he also put in or put out that kind of product while being an exec, like being pulled in a different direction, I think that shows a little bit more about his talent as well. Doctor Strange. Yes, that was it. You see, I did this. That's why.
Just me. And I can't wait to see what happens next. I know what's gonna happen next.
We,
Ooh.
I think for the audience too, you know, and anybody watching around the world, the PG Lang thing is, you know, I think people see you as an artist and someone who makes music.
See?
But I don't know if you want to share it today, but the level of detail that you yourself, along with Dave and shout to the whole PG Lang team, but y'all as friends that came up together, you in the edits. Like what we're gonna see on Sunday is a PG Lang production.
Yes, that's all PG Lane. That is us sitting day in, day out.
Wow.
The edits, the production, the stage design.
Wow.
The music, the sound tech.
And that's another piece that separates him, right? Can't wait for that Keem album, me either. That's what separates him. Two is that other artists will just show up and do a set. Now they'll probably have some sort of input on imagery or something like that. But if he's saying that's all PG Lang, I don't know if that means that's all Kendrick Lamar. But it seems like it's his baby in a sense, where it's like we not gonna mess this up. We're not gonna mess this up. This is gonna be a great show, and at the end of the day, it's gonna say PG Lang. Oof.
It's everything across the board, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of creative individuals. I can't sit here and say it's all me, because these are people that are just as passionate and want to see us win, but also want to put out something that lives a long, long time. And with Dave's creative mind, it's just, he's insane, man.
Wow.
That dude is like Basquiat in so many different fashions.
Damn.
You can clearly pick his brain.
Shout out Dave Free.
And he'll give you an answer right down the middle to help you decide for yourself. So that's something I can always appreciate.
yeah, I'd say with all of your powers combined, y'all are really diabolical. Like, when you roll out the videos, all the visuals for GNX, just the way you all move strategically together, it is inspiring beyond the music. You know, just thinking about how to approach life and art in a holistic way. And so when it came down to planning for this Super Bowl now, you know, you've teased on the album coming up to New Orleans with this LA energy. How did you guys approach the show and trying to figure out how to pay tribute to the classics in your catalog with this new music in like a 13-minute set list?
Yeah, it's wild. Mr. Morale is like an hour and 30-minute tour, so it's like you gotta smack the shit down all the way to 13 minutes.
13 minutes, yeah.
It's kind of wild, and it's interesting because it lets you know kind of where you at and your perspective on how you think about catalog and the music. For me, I love being present. I love being present, man. It's my favorite. It's very hard for me to live in the past. Very hard. I respect the past wholeheartedly, but being in the now and being just locked into how I feel. And
See, he said the same thing earlier.
That's the LA energy.
First song being performed at the halftime show is, let me know, first song. Let me know what y'all think. And then we're going to come back to this video at 38 minutes in, and I'm going to see who was right.
Energy for me. That's something that I want to carry over to
DNA,
New Orleans and for the
TV off. Wait. DNA, TV off, N95. Everybody said TV off first. TV off, set the tone. I love when they count me out. That would be hard too. Humble. Oh, TV off, whacked out murals. Nah, I don't think whacked out. It'd be dope, but I don't know if whacked out murals is gonna do it. The GNX teaser. All right, so y'all saying TV off? Man, there's so many bangers y'all just listening right now. It's gonna be a crazy show. TV off, humble, all right. The GNX teaser, hey now, Luther, Meet the Grams. Could you imagine if you started off with Meet the Grams? Whacked out murals. I think TV off might be it. TV off might be it. N95 for sure. It might be it. We'll see. It might be it. We'll see.
This is me.
Comment down below too if you're watching this on the playback.
I still feel like I'm elevating. I'm still on the journey though, you know? And I want that energy to, you know, ooze out into the televisions and to the people that's in that building.
Well, and on that, you know, the connection between black culture and New Orleans and how important and shaping our ancestors were in this town, music, jazz, all that. You always put our culture and black culture at the forefront of your brand, your music. Same thing in LA. A lot of our family members moved out to California from the South for new opportunities.
Man,
So
what?
there's a big connection between LA and the South. So when you say you walked in to New Orleans with that LA etiquette and all of that, I don't know if people really grasp that, but that's you got to be feeling that energy
bar.
like when you
That's a bar.
Sunday to do your thing.
That's a bar. It's crazy, bro. Out of all my friends, LA, us growing up, all our grandparents either from Louisiana, Texas, Chicago. Like, period.
1 second for Chicago. Wait, I can't even say 1 second. Hold on. I'm not the comedy man. I can't say that. One time for Chicago in the building, bro. I'm down bad. I was about to say 1 second. One time for Chicago. Hey, is the comedy man in here? Can he say 1 second applause one time for me? Can he say, is he in here? I need 1 second applause one time in the comments, bro. What? 1 second applause. 1 second applause. Wait, is he still here? I just need him to say 1 second applause so I can feel better about myself. He didn't leave, Yes! Let's go. All right, now we can continue the show.
So our dialect and how we talk, it gauges from like the South and like the Bay Area. So like going to the store, we say finna. I'm finna go to the store.
Yeah.
That's some South shit. You know what I'm saying? That's
We say it too, though.
LA, right? So
I'm finna
that
do
energy
everything.
right there, and you know, making that correlation, it means a lot to me for people to understand that. And
Pop or soda right now in the chat.
the culture and just being black, I can't help that, man. It's just not something that I think about or even try to like go. I'm black. Shit, it's just go. It's
in you. It's not on you.
Pop.
Yeah, it's gonna come out every time. I can't sugarcoat it. You know, I can't downplay it. I'm at a point in my life I can't necessarily fake the funk for nothing.
Facts.
And I've always had an essence of that, but you know, you have kids and shit. That shit's like, I have to be who I am authentically.
Yes.
And if, you know, the world can't accept that, then so be it. But who rocking with it, I'm gonna put it all the way out there, you know, whether it's in private or whether it's on the main stage.
And I think that's one of the things that people understood the most was the authenticity of everything he did, and nothing ever seemed forced, nothing ever seemed coerced, nothing ever seemed fake about him. And in him being extremely authentic and rooted in culture, extremely authentic, rooted in culture, rooted in faith. It's like everything that was the opposite. It's like black and white of the boy. And people consuming all of that authenticity, all of that realness, it made people look at this dude like, what the we been doing? Well, I've seen so many fans say like, yo, I can't hear it the same. It doesn't sound the same anymore. It don't sound the same. It just it don't hit the same. So that still remains to be seen. But him putting it out there and saying, I just can't be no other than it's not like somebody gonna come out and say, man, yeah, sometimes I'm kind of fake. But him saying one of the main driving factors was I can't be anything other than authentic, fam. You're just not gonna get that from me. We already see that others can't do that, right?
I don't think a lot of people and a lot of artists
Yeah, it don't hit anymore at
in
all.
themselves as authentically
Not at all.
as you have. And I think one of the questions we've all been wrestling with over the past few months, watching you and the way you've moved, is really
Grim
what's the
Pete.
role of an artist. And I think lots of people have very different definitions, but young Kendrick, again, back to overly dedicated and Section 80 mixtape Kendrick, and GNX Kendrick, Super Bowl, Grammys Kendrick, has
Different
your
eras.
idea of what the role of an artist is, you as an artist, has that ever changed?
I don't think I knew exactly what my role was.
Ooh.
Early on, I had maybe clues of it, but now today I can truly say is to express myself and express things that people can necessarily say on the daily, and for them to actually relate to, and come from the most vulnerable place where people can actually feel it. I think that is, for me, that's the role for me as an artist. I don't give a fuck what place it come from. I could be the most angry person on the record. You gonna feel that shit that day if you woke up and you felt that. You want to smile, you gonna feel it, because I'm gonna make sure I'm present that particular time in the studio, in the booth, that I feel happy and I feel energized, and I feel, if I feel frustrated, you gonna feel it. And to carry that as an inspiration for people that's listening that may not have a voice, that
Shout out to Zone Fanfic for the 5. I appreciate you, fam. This feels like Beyonce and MJ Super Bowl halftime performance. It's probably gonna be one of the biggest events we've ever seen on television, personally. This is all a bar. Him just shout out to Kevin Nolan as well. Hold on, I had so much to say right there, man. My bad.
feel it. I think that is, for me, that's the role for me as
Oh,
an artist.
understanding his place. Shout out to Patrick. Understanding his place comes from you having to be in positions where you really realize it don't feel right, that don't seem right. And when you get in, it's all about making a name for yourself and letting people know who you are and what you present and what you bring to the game. And at this point, he's done that. So now it's like almost OG, where like, if I don't do it, who gonna do it? I have to be the authentic version, and I gotta kind of lead y'all in the right direction.
I don't give a fuck what place it come from. I could be the most angry person on the record. You gonna feel that shit that day if you woke up and you felt
Facts.
that. You want to smile, you gonna feel it, because I'm gonna make sure I'm present that particular time in the studio, in the booth, that I feel happy.
Thank you, Jay.
Feel energized, and I feel, if I feel frustrated, you gonna feel it. And to carry that as an inspiration for people that's listening that may not have a voice, that, I've grew up with cats, still to this day can't have a conversation. The most meanest, aggressive individuals, but they can't even look you in the eye and express themselves the way they want to. So they resort to other things. And when I think about that, and I know that I have the tools necessary to communicate myself properly and effectively, I gotta do it for them. I gotta make records like Reincarnated. I gotta make records like Man in the Garden. I have to, because they feel that way, but they cannot project it.
Damn. Or they can.
hear-
Like you said, they can project it. They just project it in a way that's not positive. That's a bar, man. Thinking about, hey, yo, they don't know how to do this, so I'm going to be the voice for them. Psst, bar.
Somebody actually
Bar.
giving them affirmations, it allows them to speak more freely and be open, because, again, I come from the same place they come from.
Bar.
Kendrick, we might not see you outside again soon after Super Bowl. I know, of course, you have the GNX tour. Listen, I know you also don't love doing interviews, but we are grateful. We're so grateful for all the music and the moments that you've given us over 15 years. And in the last year, your presence and your focus, it is noted. So thank you. We really appreciate it. Thanks for taking our
Thanks for
questions.
fighting for
and-
hip hop, man.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you for fighting for hip hop.
It is really appreciated.
Appreciate y'all.
And now,
We
do have some questions
kids that are gonna ask
from our
questions.
kid
But I got
reporter.
Oh,
one
really?
more thing for you, Kendrick. Before we go to our friend here, Hayes Adler, what should people expect to see and understand about Sunday's performance?
Storytelling. I think I've always been very open about storytelling through all my catalog and my history of music, and I've always had a passion about bringing that on whatever stage I'm on, whether it's a war tour or whether it's 500 people at Key Club. I've always had a form of that, so I like to be on that sense of, make people listen, but also see and think a little.
I think this is going to be one of those performances where people are going to be digging up Easter eggs for
I mean,
years,
that's the Kendrick
years
thing,
to come, right?
Even when it's not an Easter egg,
Storytelling
people
about to
gonna
be
make that up,
crazy.
right? Hayes, this is Hayes Adler. He's got a question for you,
What's up,
Kendrick.
man?
Shout out to Adrian. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Usher was the highest viewed Super Bowl last year. Closest thing to MJ we're gonna get. This is gonna this show, this halftime. I want to see what those numbers look like, but this halftime show might double whatever, bro. And I'm just being super. I don't know, but I think it's definitely gonna be more than that for sure. Whatever he did.
Kendrick,
What's going on?
how do you prepare for such a big performance? Do you have a favorite way to stay healthy and active?
Yeah. I do some laps, whether it's some sprints. If we talking about, let's go from, okay, on a physical level, I give you that. Maybe it's a 2-mile warm-up or a mile warm-up, maybe some push-ups, just to get the body movement. Sometimes you be out on that stage, man, it take you need some oil on your knees a little bit to get moving and get crazy. So physically, yeah, I'm just exercising the body, a little bit of stretching, a little bit of all that. And on a mental level, I'm usually playing some Isley Brothers just to calm
Something cool,
calm
yeah.
my nerves, but calm my excitement and just give it a balance, you know. So that's my prep right before I go out.
Thank you, Hayes. Thank you so much. And now Alvin Williams. How you doing, sir?
What's up, Kendrick?
What's up, man?
Damn, he didn't even say you, bro.
I'm a little with Big Brother and Big Sister New Orleans. What has mentorship meant to you during the course of your career? And if you could thank your mentors for believing in you, what would you say?
Oh man, mentorship has been everything. To be around individuals that experience every little thing that you think that you're the first person to go through it with. It's a difficult task when you're a young individual because you're like, shit, you don't know what you're talking about.
Facts.
But
Kids need to hear that, bro. I don't care what it is, man. They always think they the only ones that ever been through it. I be like, bro, man. I may not be that old, but you could. I done seen something. They done seen it all first.
as you progress,
Oh,
you
we almost hit
understand.
400 likes. Run it up. I appreciate
You
you.
was right. You begin to understand life a little bit better and not be so judgmental to people that been here before you, right? The greatest thing I would say, mentors, a couple mentors that given me was like affirmation and to always give myself space to believe in who I am, even when I wasn't feeling it, right? You can accomplish so many small things or big things, and you still can fall in a slump where you doubt yourself. And even though these mentors haven't seen the spaces and been in the places I've been in, it was always time to allow me to share exactly who I am or how they see me and what I'm capable to give to the world. And I think that goes a long way, from people in the highest places and the lowest places. We all need them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Calvin. And we
All
have
right.
one more question from young Dylan.
What's up, Mr. Kendrick Lamar?
There you
Yo.
go.
Yes, sir, yes,
That's an
sir.
art.
Shout out to Adrian again for the 5. I appreciate you. I agree that the Super Bowl with Kenny may break his record. It was about compliment to Usher and our people as a hat. Oh yeah. Of course, absolutely. No. Thank you for your comment there. I wasn't trying to say that against you either. I was just saying I think this show is going to do crazy numbers. But like somebody said, we went from boycotting it to then setting records and and fighting for it too. So fighting for the halftime show, which I think is great.
Artist right there.
Yes, sir. It's a truly honor to meet you.
Wait, what'd he say?
And my
That's an artist right.
Question from young Dylan.
What's up, Mr. Kendrick Lamar?
There you go. That's
Yes, sir,
that's
yes,
an
sir.
artist right there.
Yes, sir. It's a truly honor to meet you. And my question I have for you is, what advice could you give to kids about not being like anyone else? And how could they stay authentic while pursuing your path?
It's a great question. They said the number one thing people feel in a room, over love and over fear is authentic, being authentic. And this my homegirl Ink actually, we was talking about this in the studio. She brought us in the studio, and I was like, damn, how many times I've been in a room where people felt you so intensely that it inspired them and inspired the person next to them and inspired the people in their household. So how to stay authentic? Was that the question? Or you have to believe in yourself and have to know that it's only one you.
Facts.
You an amazing individual, unique. You a miracle. I wake up every day and I'm like, this shit is crazy. Not crazy from a standpoint of being a celebrity. Crazy, just life. It's just wild. When you really sit down and just think about it and just bug out on some wild it's wild. And to know that you are in this existence and in this world, visuals, only you have to know that you got to carry that authentic nature of allowing yourself to.
It's only you. You know, it's only you. And the bar on authenticity means a lot, because I think that there's a lot of carbon copies in the world. There's a lot of NPCs out here. I hate using that word, but there's a lot of people who just floating and don't really have a lot of purpose. And that's not to say that they don't have a purpose. Maybe they just haven't found it yet. But I think being authentic and being yourself sometimes is a learned behavior. Like, you have to learn, maybe I don't have to do it the way that everyone else is doing it, or I don't have to say the things that everyone else is saying. I could be myself. I can say the things that I want to say. I can do the things that I want to do. And there is a pocket of people, or, even if you're not doing it for anyone else, but there's a pocket of people that are going to rock with me because I am me. So I think a lot of times what happens with authenticity or the lack of authenticity is people think that there's a certain way to do things and people want to see a certain type of thing. So they all fall in line with doing what everyone else did to get there. And that's not true. Even though there are people who enjoy this specific thing, there's also people that are going to enjoy what you bring to the table too. So question from Lil Man.
Say, this is who I am. This is how people are going to see me, and also going to respect me, and it's going to inspire people to have truth, because when everyone's authentic, what comes out of that is true love. It's no boundaries. We don't have any courtship on judgment. We don't have any perception of being able to ridicule anyone, because you showing up as your true self, I'm showing up as my true self. And carrying that nature to take you places. Appreciate
His
you.
answers are just as thoughtful as in the music. Thank you, Dylan.
Respect.
Thank you, Kendrick.
Appreciate you.
Shout out my dog Deontay for the 9-month re-up. Courtship of Judgment is such a bar.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the great Kendrick Lamar, please.
Wow.
Thank you so much for your work and your dedication.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Appreciate
Go out there
y'all.
and have fun on Sunday.
Wow.
Thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. We can't wait to see Kendrick take the Super Bowl halftime show stage. While you wait, you can listen to his catalog in spatial audio.
Now, look, shortly after the performance, you'll be able to stream the full halftime show right there on Apple Music. You can listen, you can watch, you can sing, all the things Kendrick, all the time on Apple Music. So one more time, for all of you, Kendrick Lamar, thank you for delivering.
That's hard.
As usual. The show on Sunday is going to be special and amazing. I'm positive. Thank you all so much.
All right. Ebro and crew gave us a great interview. Shout out to Mel. We almost hit 400 likes. Yeah, it'd be great. We almost hit 400 likes. I appreciate you. All right. So he said it's another interview tomorrow too. We're gonna tap into that one too. My thoughts on this interview, man. It's like every time, I don't know, man. People always just consider it glaze. And whenever you are just, you enjoy something, you like something, it's considered glaze. But anytime you hear a person speak from truth like that, it's inspiring, and I still want to know more. I still want to know more. I still want to continue to listen. I still want to hear more. And I think that this interview did a good job of bridging the gap, because he hasn't been outside, right? He has not been outside. He hasn't said much about thought process in between Mr. Morale and GNX, and all the while not mentioning the boy, not saying anything about the boy, not throwing the boy under the bus. Everything else is said and done already. We don't need to repeat it and rehash it, right? Just his connection to truth. I always enjoy that. His connection to authenticity. I enjoy that. And embracing the moment is something that I really learned. And I when I listen to him, it's not about what I've done. It's about what I'm doing and what I'm going to do in the future. So those are things that I took from it. And I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. If you didn't, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. If you didn't enjoy that, I don't know what to tell you. But shout out to everybody for pulling up, man. All like 500-600 million of y'all that were in here. I appreciate you. If you guys do not mind subscribing to the channel, we're trying to get 30K. And we're very close. If you guys are watching this on a playback, thank you for clicking on the video. Make sure you hit that like button and come back. That's all I ask. I'm thinking about doing that Kanye interview too. Maybe we'll do that Kanye interview too if you guys are interested in that. But I will see you guys in the next one. All right, I'm out. Peace.